So today I'm talking about staying top of mind with your referral partners. So this is such a core piece of what we teach when it comes to marketing your business in our business coaching program. And so I just love talking about this. It's something I'm passionate about because in our service company, 85% of our business came from referral and repeat clients. And so this was such a strong piece of what drove our business. I just love talking about it. But I know that sometimes it can seem like a lot when I start coaching people, or even in my company when I would hire new marketing reps and tell them I wanted them to go visit a place every couple of weeks. Sometimes I get this look like, isn't that too much? Well, I'm here to tell you that if you do it in the right way, no, it is not too much. No, you will not be considered the annoying girl or guy who keeps coming into my business every other week thinking that I'm going to send them business. So let's talk about it, okay? Well, the first thing I want to let you know is that you're not alone. This is a common reaction to building relationships with referral partners. Like I mentioned, a lot of people feel like it could be too much, but you have to do it in the right way. Most business owners, they start doing this, they start going in and building a relationship, and then they stop and then they wonder, well, what happened to all the referrals? They were referring me. I was going in 6 months ago and they were sending business, but now I haven't gotten any referrals from them. What happened? Well, you have to be consistent, right? We can't just start doing something and then stop. And then the thing with marketing is that it's not selling. So you really have to shift your mindset from thinking that, I'm going in and I'm going to be selling and asking for something. It's a whole mindset shift when we start talking about building relationships and going into this in-person marketing to really build your business. And the mindset shift has to come when you start thinking about how can I help versus what can I get from this company or this relationship. And we have to really become people focused. So we're focusing on the people that we're talking to, the relationships we're building, how we can be of service to them, and how we can help them versus what can I get from this relationship. So here are the 5 tips that I have for you when it comes to in-person marketing and relationship marketing that are going to help you stay top of mind without being considered annoying. So the number one thing is celebrate people. So look for opportunities that you can celebrate wins with these referral partners and business owners that you're having a relationship with. Look for ways you can celebrate them. Is it their birthday? Make a note. A lot of times you'll start to become friends with these people on social media and or follow their businesses, and some of these things will pop up for you and you're like, "Oh, it's some such and such's birthday at that location." Even if it's like the next day because you weren't sure, you didn't see it until too late in the day to do something, that's okay. Still send them a quick note, "Hey, happy birthday," or pop in and say happy birthday. So celebrate their wins. Or maybe they moved into a new location and they're having a grand opening. Or maybe they're having a ribbon cutting ceremony with your local chamber of commerce. If you know these things and you see that there's an upcoming event that they're having, a lot of the business partners that we would work with would host like lunch and learns. We worked with a lot of people in the design industry, and so they would put on lunch and learns. Even if it wasn't something that a CEU or a continuing credit that I needed, I would still try to attend if I could because it was showing that I cared about them. And then also, I showed up. I was celebrating them, and they love that because you become someone that they can count on. And then when you're there, ask if there's something that they need. Maybe you could provide some of the snacks or refreshments or just help at check-in. Think about how you can help them and serve them and celebrate them when possible. The second thing is to share useful info. I actually just did this not too long ago with a prospect that I had been talking to, and they're in the senior moving industry. And this article came across I think it was one of my social media pages for some reason. And it just was very interesting about tips for when you're moving and you're a senior. So I forwarded that to him in an email and said, "Hey, I just thought about you when I saw this. I thought I'd forward it on. You might find it interesting. And he thought that was so nice. And so there have been other times in my business life, especially in our past service company, where I would share industry articles with people if it seemed to fit what they did. And it was just a moment to say, hey, I thought about you. You were on my mind. And it's such a wonderful, like warm, fuzzy feeling for them because you thought about them and remembered what industry they're in and thought of them. So think about ways that you can share useful information. The third one is to make introductions. So everybody loves a connector, right? If you can introduce someone to someone that they've been trying to do business with for a while, wow, that's going to like take the cake right there. You're going to become one of their favorite people if you can introduce them to someone they've been trying to do business with. But also, there are other ways to make connections. We work with a lot of small business owners, and a lot of times they need a good bookkeeper, or they might need a good accountant, or a payroll company. So, if we can make connections for people in that respect to help them make their life easier, that is such a great tool to connect people with. Or maybe you're in an industry with buildings. So, like I said before, we worked with a lot of designers. So, maybe I could connect a designer with a realtor who could refer them business, or an architect that they might need on staff or on hand to refer. So think about how you can connect people and be a connector because they won't forget that person who sent them this great connection. The fourth thing is to surprise people. So surprise them by standing out and being different. So today it's such a digital world where everybody communicates digitally. We text, we send emails, and everything is digital. Well, I want you to surprise people by being different with your communication. I absolutely love sending thank you cards. I don't know why, just from the time I was a teenager, if someone did something nice for me or gave me a gift, I would always do a handwritten thank you card. And I'm actually teaching my daughter to do that too, because I just want her to be a person who shows people that she cares and she really appreciated what someone did for her. So that is just like a core thing I'm passing on to her, but I want to encourage you to do the same. Send thank you cards. If someone meets me and takes time out of their day to have a coffee or lunch with me and talk about business and let me tell them what I do and then how they can share with me what they did, I think that is such a huge gesture that they would take that time out of their day. So I always try to send a thank you card and just say, hey, thank you so much for meeting with me. I loved hearing about your business and I can't wait to see what this turns into or how I can refer you in the future. So think about thank you cards, handwritten thank you cards, and maybe a handwritten note. So I like to do pop-ins. And so this is actually a core teaching of our marketing structure when you are coached by us at Phenomenal Business Coaching. We teach in-person marketing. And so everything I'm sharing with you today is all a part of what you would learn on our marketing masterclass, The Millionaire Marketer. So if you want more information on that, just go to stephanieoverturf.com. I'll put the link below and you can find out more information there. And you're also going to get my free marketing playbook. So that's a bonus. But anyway, one of the core things we teach are pop-ins where you visit people on a regular basis. So a lot of times people are busy and they're not expecting you. And so I always keep a notepad with a pen and stapler or paper clips so that I can do a handwritten note. Because how nice is it when, again, it's just like the thank you note or just like the sharing of an article that you found that you thought they might find useful. It shows that you thought about them and took a couple minutes to spend on them in that moment. So handwritten notes are great, pop-ins when they're not expecting you. I want to go back to the celebrate people too, because one of the things that I would try to do is recognize when it was someone's birthday. So I remember this one girl, she worked at a flooring store. Actually, I think she still works there. And she was just the sweetest person. And for the longest time, I didn't even know who she was because she worked in the back office. But come to find out, she actually turned into one of our biggest referral people. She sent the most business to us out of people in her store there because she was the one who answered the phone whenever people would call the office there. And so she became such a strong referral relationship with us. And so one time, when it was her birthday, we have this local, it's like a food truck, but it's a cookie truck. And the lady makes the most amazing cookies, and they're huge. So one time when it was her birthday, I had the cookie lady pop over there and give her this, I think it was a jar. It was either a jar or a box of cookies, just like loaded with all these cookies. But she was so like grateful and just surprised and happy. She put a picture up on social media and tagged our business and thanked us for it. So those are the kinds of things that make a lasting impression, because in that moment, I wasn't expecting anything from her. I was just pouring into her and showing her I was grateful for her and wanted her to have a great day and enjoy these cookies. So that's how we can really celebrate people. And then the fifth thing is to make sure that we show up consistently. One of the biggest mistakes I see business owners make is that they start off strong. They start off going, every 2 weeks, making their relationships, checking in with people every couple of weeks, and then they stop because the referrals start coming in and then they get busy and then they stop and they think, what happened? The phone's not ringing. What happened to all the referrals? It just dried up. Well, it's because they were not consistent. So we have to show up consistently. Um, we can't just do this every 6 months and expect results. Quick touches every few weeks are much more effective than one huge giant gesture one time a year. So back to the example of the girl that I sent the cookies to for her birthday, that was a great gesture, but if I only did that once a year and she didn't know who I was or I hadn't poured into her at other times, it's probably not going to have the same effect. She's going to forget about me 3 or 4 months down the road, and then some other person can come in and she could start referring them. So those giant gestures one time a year, they're nice, but they're also expensive and they don't last. Quick, small touches every couple weeks are where it's at. So make sure you show up consistently. So another example I thought about for the show up consistently was of a real estate office that we did a lot of business with. So, realtors were a good referral partner for our service company because we were an in home service company. So they're always able to refer us. So it just made sense that we would work with them. Well, there was this one office in particular. I became really good friends with the office manager there and the girl at the front desk. And I'm telling you, they would let us do whatever we wanted at that office. I remember one time it was an afternoon and I called up and I was like, hey, I've got extra items to make strawberry shortcake because we had done something at our office with it. Can I come over and just whatever realtors are there, we can walk around and serve them up some strawberry shortcake? Absolutely. So we did that one day. Another time I remember going in and having like all of these rat cards, or which is basically like a double-sided brochure, just one sheet. And I think they had lollipops on them or something like that, which is another tip. This stuff doesn't have to cost a lot of money, right? Lollipops are super cheap. So I had them all attached to these rat cards, and I go into this real estate office and I'm like, hey, I've got all of these. I know this is asking a lot. I think I had a big stack of them, like 50 or 60 of them. And I was like, I know this is asking a lot for you to put them in their mailboxes. And but I can do it. If you don't mind, I'll go back there and, put them in. And she's like, sure, whatever. So I was able to just slip one of those in every single realtor's inbox. I mean, how awesome is that? And so that actually opened the door because then now I couldn't abuse that privilege, but every like couple of months, she would let me do that. So if I had a flyer or something else that I wanted, I'd just be like, hey, I have a lot of these today. Can I go back and put them in? Sure, go on back, go on back. So our relationship was so strong from showing up consistently and not just always asking for something, but being of service, that we were able to basically just do whatever we wanted in this place. And you can do that too. By showing up consistently, staying people focused, and building a relationship, you're going to see that it's not annoying. You're top of mind with these referral partners and these businesses that you can build a relationship. They're not going to see you as annoying. They're going to see you as a breath of fresh air. And so, some of the people that we built relationships with over the years, I truly enjoyed going in and seeing them because they became like friends. And then, once we started growing and scaling, and other people were going in for me, my marketing reps, I would still pop in once in a while on some of them because I missed them and I wanted to see how they're doing because we were people focused. And that meant so much to them because then they were like, "Oh, you're here," kind of thing. "What are you doing here?" And so you can have that too. And it's not annoying as long as you're people focused and you show up consistently and care about them and are genuine in what you're doing. They know why you're there. They know that you are looking for a relationship where they can send you referrals, and you don't have to say that every time because they do understand why you're there. But you're there to build a relationship, and it's just going to ultimately lead to an interchange of business. So, if this has been valuable to you and you would like to find out more about our face to face relationship marketing program, I want to give you my marketing playbook. It's free. Just go to stephanieoverturf.com and fill out that form, and we'll send it over to you. And you'll have my marketing playbook and exactly how we did this in our business to have 85% referral and repeat.